Hi guys, give me 2 minutes. We can start the session. Okay, so did you guys install this SQL Server and Power BI Desktop and all these softwares? Whatever we have installed in the previous session, SQL Server, SQL Management Studio, okay, SQL Server and SQL Management Studio, and the database, whatever the sample database we have, and Power BI Desktop. So I hope all of you has installed these 4 softwares, right? Anybody facing the issues while the installation is going on? Can all of you please confirm yes in the chat if you have done already? Okay, right, perfect. Raj, you also install, right? Okay. So in the previous session, what we have done, we have installed the SQL server and whatever the SQL server software we have installed. So that SQL server software, let me try to connect. So this SQL server I have connected, and I have a SQL server management studio, and also inside this SQL server I have one database. Let me show you that one. Okay. So if you want to connect into the SQL server, first you need to open the SQL server management studio 19. So simply click on this one. So whenever you are going to work on any data analysis project, so first you need to understand about your data source. So what exactly your business? Okay, you need to understand the business of the data. So this entire data analysis Power BI project, we can divide into four different stages or the phases. Okay, this we can call it as a life cycle management of the Power BI project. Okay, so what are the four different kind of pages available inside this life cycle management of the Power BI project is, one is about the data discovery, and the second one is about the data modeling phase and data visualization phase. Okay, data discovery, data modeling, and the data visualization. And the next one is finally sharing of the data, sharing of the data over here. So whichever the data, sharing of the report, I'm sorry. Yeah. So let's, for example, the moment when you have decided to design a report, let's take it. First, what are the things you need to understand is, you have to understand about your client business. For example, I'm going to work for a project, Walmart, or I'm going to working for a Amazon. So Amazon company, what exactly it is doing? So Amazon having a Amazon.com web portal, right? So inside this Amazon.com web portal, what exactly they are doing? So they are selling a lot of products over here. The customers will sign in, and then after they are going to place a order, and the order will be delivered to your location. So this is what the business is going to happening inside our Amazon.com. So you need to understand the customer business. You need to understand the customer business. Then after, when this business is going to be happen, where that data is going to be stored. Let's, for example, in place of this ICICI ATM, you can consider this is a Amazon. Let me make it another. So you have this Amazon website, right? So through this Amazon website, okay, this is a www.amazon.com. So whatever this Amazon.com data, we are trying to, a customer will log into over here. The customer is going to buy the product over here. So when he is buying the product, immediately the backend database is going to be coming over here. So let me try to pull it over here. Now this is going to be a SQL database. So what are the information when you are buying a product in this website will be saved in this backend database? That's what I'm trying to show you. Ideally in this Amazon business, I can say there is like a customers. Yeah, of course, you are the customer. and of course we have a products, and we have different kind of subcategories of the subcategories, and we have the categories over here. Okay, we have a customers, product, subcategories and categories. Then after we have a sales information. All right, so you need to understand this information, whatever the customers data, products data, subcategories, categories, sales information inside your SQL Server database. Okay, so this SQL Server database might be in your local computer, or it might be in a cloud environment also. Okay, so you need to understand your database, what are the list of tables you have, and how can you understand all those things. Then simply you can, by using a SQL Server Management Studio, first try to connect into this SQL database over here. Okay, first try to connect into the SQL Server database from the SQL Management Studio. We have SQL Server Management Studio. So there is, through this SQL Management Studio, let me try to open in my computer. So this is my SQL Server name. How to connect it to this SQL Server name? Simply you can go to the server name. There you can see there is a browse for more. Under that you can see there is a database engine. This is the server I'm going to use. Then simply you can connect it over here. So once you are connecting to this one, then what I'm going to do? Simply I'm going to this database section. Under I can identify there is one database. So of course the database name might be AdventureWorks TW 2022, or it might be a SQL, Amazon database. So try to understand inside this database what are the list of tables we have, and each table contains what kind of data. You can see here there is a dim customer data over here. So simply if you want to see the data, what data we have in the dim customer, simply select top 1000 rows, or you can simply goes to the new query on the top. Under this you can able to write down a simple SQL statements to understand the what exactly the data we have inside this one, right? So simply you can see here I'm going to write down select star from dim customer. Okay, select star from dim customer over here. So you can able to see this select star from dim customer. Then simply you can able to click on execute. Then you can able to understand the data what you have over here, the customer key, geography, first name, last name, middle name. This is all about the customer information. When you are logging to this amazon.com, you can able to see here whatever the information when you are signing, the information what you are providing here, the entire information is going to be stored in the customer table. Okay, so similarly we have a data in the product table as well. So simply I'm going to connect into select star from dim product over here. Okay, simply click on the dim product. Then you can able to execute and see what are all the products they are selling over here. So these are all the product names. You can able to see it over here. These are all the product names what we are selling. So that product information simply you can able to understand. Let's for example, what are the products they are selling. So the products, if you are going to understand, these are the different kind of categories we have, correct? Different categories. Under each category, for example, you can go to the electronics. Under the electronics you can able to see there are different kind of subcategories also there. Clear? So where you can see that categories, what categories they are selling, what category subcategories. Here you can see select start from dim subcategory. CAT, where is that? Yeah, okay, dim product category table you can see here. Just drag and drop over here. And similarly you can able to see the data subcategory also. Select start from dim sub dim product subcategory, dim product subcategory. All right, so this is how you can able to understand what are the tables, product category, product subcategory. These are all the list of tables you can able to see. These are all the top categories they are selling. Under that we have a different subcategories. Under that we have a different products over here. So now we got it. What are the customers information, products information, category information, subcategory. Then finally we are going to place a order over here, right? So when you are going to place the order over here, simply we are going to put that orders information, nothing but a sales information in the fact internet sales table. Okay, simply you can able to see the data what you have inside this one. Okay, this information you can able to keep it over here. So this is how we are going to identifying the few list of tables contains some information. So when you want to design a reports, first you need to understand the data in which table you have, and also if you want to see the locations of the each customer, you can able to see that geography table as well, dim geography table, correct? And then after we can able to understand dim date table also. Okay, select star from dim date as well. This is the information. So this is how we have different kind of tables available. Each table you can understand the data, what column names you have and everything. Perfect. So once you are identifying this list of tables information, then we are going to designing of the reports. Okay, so this is the first phase. The first phase means what we are doing, simply we are going to, so this is the first phase. The first phase means we need to understand the, so one second. So here like first we are understanding the customer business, then after the data source. Here I'm using the data source as a SQL. Okay, inside the SQL server, what is the database and what are the list of tables we have. Okay, what are the list of tables we have, and all those things we are able to understand. So finally we have identified what are the list of tables we are going to querying going forward over here. What are the list of tables we are going to use, we are going to querying going forward, we are able to understand it over here. Okay, so then after what you need to do, so then after from the Power BI, from the Power BI desktop, you need to connect into your data source. So what is your data source over here? My data source is about like a SQL server. So from the Power BI desktop, whatever you have installed, so try to connect into this SQL database. After connecting, then what you need to do, so you have to bring all the list of tables data whatever you want. Table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4, and table 5, and you can able to create the relationships between the each table over here. You can able to create the relationships between the each table over. Okay, so we are getting the relationship between the each table over here. So then after you have to like at the time of you are bringing the data into your Power BI desktop, Power BI desktop, if you want to perform any kind of modifications to your data also you can able to do. You can able to do the modifications. So here you can see inside the Power BI desktop, while you are going to querying the data from data source into Power BI, when we are querying the data from data source into Power BI desktop, okay, Power BI desktop, if you want to apply any kind of transformations, you can able to apply the transformations. Okay, so this is called this phase 1. Okay, let me try to do quickly the phase 1 whatever we have done. So let me open the Power BI desktop. Simply you can go to Power BI desktop, open the Power BI desktop, and I'm going to establishing a connection to my data source, whichever I have. My business data is storing inside this SQL server, not nothing but a AdventureWorks database, whatever I have. Okay, let me go it over here. So once the Power BI desktop is open, let me try to create a new report over here. So how to create a new report? Simply you can see there is a report, and first you need to connect into your data source. If you want to connect into your data source, on the top you can see there is a get data. There are so many data sources it is supporting. Simply you can click on the more over here. So here what database, what data source you are trying to connect. See there are different kind of data sources available. File type and the database, Microsoft Fabric, Power Platform, Azure, online services, many things are there. But as per your data source, where your data stores, you have to specify that it is a SQL Server database. Then simply click on connect it over here. So you need to provide what is your SQL Server. Then that I'm going to get it from here, from the SQL Server Management Studio. See there is a SQL Server name is there. Simply copy this one. Then you can able to put it over here. So inside this server, what is the database you want to connect? Either you can copy that particular database name over here. Okay. Let me try to rename, copy this database. Okay. Then you can able to put it over here. And here you can see there is a data connectivity mode. There are two different kind of data connectivity modes. One is import and another one is a direct query mode. So what are the different connectivity modes available? So one is about import connectivity mode and another one is direct query. So what is this meaning of import? The import means whatever the data you have in your source SQL database, okay, whatever the data you have in this SQL database, import means simply it will copy and paste into Power BI. It's taking a copy of the data and storing into Power BI. Direct query means it is not copy and save into Power BI. Whenever the Power BI is required, the live data will be taken into here. Every time the live updated information will be taken care from your data source. So import is nothing but a copy of data from the data source. A copy of the data from a data source into Power BI. So it will save one copy records. So import means it is going to copy of the data from a data source into Power BI. It will save the one copy of the record. Nothing but, for example, in my data source, I have 10 tables. Out of these 10 tables, I have total uh, 2000 rows. So this entire 10 tables and 2000 rows will be saved into Power BI. Now, coming to the direct query mode. So what will happen in the direct query mode? In the direct query mode, it is not copy. It will not save any data. It will not save any data into Power BI. Direct query mode, what it will do? It will not save any data into Power BI. Then what it will do? It is simply saving of the data. It is not saving the data. It is not copying anything. It will query live whenever data required, whenever the data required from data source. Got it? It's a live updated data it will take. But in the import mode, after you are importing the data, if any changes in your data source, it will not bring that, right? For example, you are copying at afternoon 12 p.m. or early morning 8 a.m. Okay, so whatever the data you have, that will be copied. After 10 minutes, there is some changes happening in your data. Is that reflecting over here in your Power BI? No, because until again you are re-importing, the changes will not be affected. But in the direct query mode, it is going to bring the data always from your data source. For every second and minute, whenever you are opening a report, the live updated data it will take from your data source. That is called direct query mode. Okay. So based on your requirement, whichever the connectivity mode you want to use, you can select. I'm going to use the mostly import connectivity mode. Okay, now from this particular SQL server, from this particular database, and what exactly the data you want to take. Let's, for example, you want to take all the data from each table. You don't need to write down any SQL query. If you want to get a data by writing some SQL query, for example, I want to get the data by joining of the two tables. In such kind of situations, you can able to. Let's, for example, I want to join all these three tables. I want to write down one SQL query. So how to write down? Can I use the chat GPT? Uh, can you join about three tables? Write a SQL query. Okay, so it is going to give you one SQL query. That query I'm going to use to get the data into your Power BI. Okay, so here it is generating the query, right? So this is the SQL query it has written. Do you want to see by executing this query? Yes. Hmm. Let me copy this one. Copy this. Okay, copy this and then execute it over here. Okay, so what is the information it is going to give for you? So this is going to give, I'm sorry, product category name. Let me keep star in place of this one. So we don't have this dim product category, dim product subcategory. I think the column names are different. Okay, let me write down my own. Okay, so the dim product table and we need to join subcategory table with product table. Okay, let me remove this part. Inner join. So this is a SQL part. So what is this? In the product table, do we have any subcategory ID column? Yes, let me check. In the product table, do we have any product subcategory key? Yes, it is not ID. Product subcategory key column, the joining columns. Okay, same thing you can copy and join these two tables, right? So this is how we are joining the two tables over here. This particular SQL query, if you want to keep inside your Power BI to query the data, you can simply copy that query and paste it over here. So when you want to fetch the data from your data source by writing some SQL queries, you can use this option. If you are not going to write any SQL queries and you want to get it the entire list of tables from this particular database, then don't write any SQL query. Simply make it blank. Okay, so make it blank and then simply click OK. So once you are clicking on OK, then what will happen? This is your server name, this is your database name, and you can able to import and then click OK. So what are all the tables and data you are trying to import? Then you can able to specify over here. See, it is going to display all the list of tables under this particular server, under this particular database. Then you can able to select what are all the list of tables you want. Okay. So I have already notified what are the list of tables I need to designing of the report and dashboard. Okay. Let me select dim customer, dim date information, dim geography information, dim product information because it contains all the products, dim category, dim subcategory, and fact sales data. All the orders data will be saved inside these tables. Okay, so these tables are fair enough. Okay, do you want to load this data directly? Yes, then you can load it. If you want to apply any changes or modifications to your data before loading, click on the transform data. What modifications you want to do? Let's, for example, in the dim customer, you can see there are some unnecessary columns you are loading. What are those? Why you need this Spanish education, French education, and all those things. So you can remove those columns, right? So where you can remove, if you want to remove before loading, you can click on transform data. Okay, if I'm loading, after loading, can I do the changes for this? Yes, you can do the changes after loading also. Okay, before loading, I'm going to do the changes. Simply click on transform data. The moment when you are going to click on the transform data, it will open one window that is called Power Query Editor. That means whatever the tables you are going to processing over here, for each table, it will create one query in the backend. See here, total how many tables you are going to process: dim customer, dim date, dim geography, dim product category, subcategory, fact internet sales table. Total these tables we have. Okay, so this is the Power Query Editor window. In this window, you can see what are all the queries you are processing here. Nothing but each table, and in the center you can see some data in the center. And on the top you can see there are several transformations. Whatever you want to apply, you can able to apply. And on this right side, if you are applying any kind of changes to these queries, that will be coming under the steps. Okay, for example, now what do you want to do? In the dim customer table, simply I'm going to do a small modification. What is that? I want to remove few columns whatever we are not using over here. Those are French education and Spanish education, French occupation, and Spanish education, and yeah, these four columns I don't want actually. We are not going to use in the reporting. Then why you are unnecessarily loading? Then what you can do? Simply you can remove the columns. There is an option remove column. So this is called one of the transformation. Simply click on remove. The moment whenever you are removing, see that step is recorded over here. If you want to roll back whatever you have done just now, simply again remove this step. So in the back end, whatever the actions you are doing here, it will write down a query, it will modify the query. That where you can see on the top there is a advanced editor over here. Here, whatever the modifications you are doing, it is going to write down some query over here. Let's for example, I will remove this French education. So simply select that, remove it. Now we can go to advanced editor. There you can see it has written one step, remove the columns. Correct? So when you want to roll back whatever the step we have done, you want to roll back and you want to come to original stage, simply remove this one. Whenever you are removing, simply goes to the advanced editor. Here the step has removed over here. So this is how any transformation techniques you want to apply for your queries inside this Power Query Editor you can able to do. So once all your transformations are completed, then simply goes to close and apply. That means when you are close and apply, the changes will be applied and a data will be loaded into your Power BI. Simply close and apply. Okay, so data has loaded. So whatever the data has loaded, so where you can see that data, so that data if you want to see there is a different tabs over here. There is a report tab and data tab. So simply goes to this table view. Here you can see all the list of tables whichever you have imported, and you can able to have the data for the each table over here. The data for each table, and you can see here in the report view here like the what are the tables we have imported. So this is the place where we are going to designing of the visualizations, and also what are the list of tables we have imported. So till now whatever the process we have done, it's all about like a data discovery part. The very first phase I told you, right, in the life cycle, data discovery part. In the data discovery part, what I'm doing, I'm understanding my business, I'm understanding my data source, finding the list of tables, then I'm going to connecting from my Power BI into this Power BI into this uh, data source, and then I'm performing some kind of transformation techniques. Then I'm going to loading the data into Power BI. This is called phase 1. Now coming to the phase 2. So what exactly phase 2? This is a creating the relationships, creating the relationships between the tables imported. Whatever the list of tables you have imported into your Power BI, you need to create the relationships between each table over here. You need to create the relationships between the each table over here. Clear? Perfect. So sometimes if you have already relationships in our data source level, those will be created automatically. So where you can see the relationships and the list of tables, see there is a model view. Simply goes to model view. Under this model view, you can able to understand here, like see, these are all the list of tables over here. See, automatically the relationships are created. Automatically the relationships are created over here. So this is how in your data source, whatever the relations already built, those are imported into Power BI as well. Why you need a relationship? If you don't have a relationship, the data will not be filtered in your Power BI. Okay. So this is called data modeling. We will go in detail again about this data discovery and data modeling also. Okay. So we are going to discuss everything about the data discovery, whatever the Power Query editor we have, right? Let's go to your report view. So when you are opening this transform data, it will open your Power Query editor anytime, and you can able to do the modifications to your query over here. Okay. After done, then close and apply. Okay, so this is all about the data discovery part, and then after data modeling part we are going to designing the relationships in between these tables over here. Let's, for example, if you don't have relation between these two tables, then how can you create a relationship? You need to understand the common column in between these two tables, that is might be product ID. Okay, so simply you can able to find out product key or product ID, product key, product, yeah, simply drag and drop that product into here, then it will create the relationship between the two tables. Okay, so the dim product, and this one we have the product key. On what column it has to create? In the fact internet sales table product key, and in the product table we have a product key. Select that column, then click OK. So it is going to create the relationship over here. So once this creation of the relationships are completed, then we are going to designing of the visualizations over here. So that is the phase 3. The phase 3 is all about creating of the data visualizations. So by using the data, by using the data imported, creating a stunning visuals, creating the stunning visualizations over here. So see here, there are different kind of visualizations over here. Then simply you can take any of one visualization. Let's take it a pie chart. Okay, and simply you can able to make it bigger, and if you want to design a report, each gender wise, total yearly income, just drag and drop. This is how it is going to design the visualization. You can able to create multiple number of pages over here. In each page you can take different kind of visualizations. Let's take this stack chart, and here also you can able to design yearly income. So on what basis? Yearly income on the like first name basis, you can see here. See each customer first name wise, what is the yearly income, you can able to design. Whatever the report you are going to design it over here, this report you can save into your local computer. Simply click on save it. What is the name you want to give for this report? My first Power BI report. My first Power BI report.pbix. So when you are saving your Excel file, what is the extension will come? .xlsx. When you are saving a report file in your local computer, the file name will come like a .pbix, Power BI expression file. Where do you want to store this file? I want to store this file on my desktop over here. Simply save it. So when you are going to work on this report tomorrow, then again you are going to is not a valid path. Okay, give the valid path. Simply, yeah, my first report. So this is how you can able to save your report, and tomorrow you can go over there in your local computer where this file saved. Just double click and open. You can continue your development. All right. So this is how we are going to designing of the reports over here by using the data visualizations. Then finally, this report can be shared to the customers. Okay. How you are going to sharing of this report to the customers? This can be shared to the either into a website or into a report server over here. So how can you share? Simply you can goes to there is a publish option. So where you want to publish this report, simply you can able to click on the publish over here. So from tomorrow onwards, what I'm going to focus it over here, how to design these visualizations. I'm going to focus it over here. Data visualizations part. Okay, whatever the data you have inputted, how to design the stunning visualizations over here. So this is all about today's session. Then if you guys have any questions on this one, you can please raise your hands and you can ask the questions over here. So let me control C and notepad. I will bring everything into notepad over here. I'm going to save this also. Okay. Power Windows. All right. So this is how we can able to do the things. Now, if you guys have any questions, you can raise your hand. Okay. Okay. Any questions from anyone? You can raise your hand. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, do we have any sheet that contains the contents, the topics we are going to cover each day?
Uh, this class notes I'm going to share with you,
Okay.
and day wise, like I mean, prior to the class, what are the things we are going to cover in this day? That's what you are expecting.
Yeah.
We have overall content, but day wise we don't have prepared.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
But anyhow, this class notes once the class complete, I will share every day.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So please do a subscription. I mean, enrolling for this course. Like the free sessions are ended today. From tomorrow onwards, it's going to be a paid session over here. Okay. So please reach out our executive to do the enrollment process today. Okay.